Today we are going to start new chapter in SST, that is major landforms. Right? So to begin with, first of all, we all know that our earth is made up of land and water. Around 29% of the earth's surface is covered by land and rest 71% by water. If I am saying water, so it means oceans, rivers, sea, each and every water body I am talking about. Alright, and land, continents and all, you all are very much familiar with this, and I had explained these things in the previous chapter also. Right, beta? So earth is made up of land and water. This is the one thing. Now the topic of the chapter is major landforms. So first of all, you should be familiar with the term landforms, right? So what are landforms? Landforms are natural features of the earth's surface. Let us read this in detail, alright? So first tell me one thing, do you see the land same everywhere? Or is it somewhere slopey or hilly? We don't see the land same everywhere, no? So the surface of the earth is not same everywhere. Some parts are flat and leveled, while others are raised to some extent, or somewhere we have very highly raised parts. What is the meaning of raised? Raised means जो level है earth का उससे ऊपर उठा हुआ होना. So that part is called raised part, not the leveled one, right beta? So when we look at the surface of the earth, it is not even or same at all the places. Okay, some are flat, some are hilly, some are raised. So we can use the terms lowlands and highlands, right beta? But these are not the two types. Between lowlands and highlands there are different landforms. Okay, but how to know it is highland or lowland? We can check it from the sea level, right? Dekho, for example, the areas which are closer to sea, they are called lowlands, and the highlands are at the higher level from the sea level. When we check the distance from the sea level, they are very high, so they are called highlands. In this chapter, to understand landforms, it is very important that you all should know about lowlands and highlands. Then only you would be able to understand the chapter. For this beta, just see the diagram given in this video only. See, there you can see water body. I have marked arrow here. It is sea. Let us consider it sea. And now just check the arrows. There are mountains. I have marked here one peak is there at the top. Now this is the one where I have written one, no, arrow number 1. So it means it is showing the distance of the land closer to the sea. So they are lowlands. And the bigger arrow B, it shows the distance. It is at a higher distance. They are highlands. And see arrow 3, it is at the higher level from the B. Same way, see, I have marked here D. So D is at the higher level from C. They all are having different heights, no? So it is called the distance from the sea level. So we always understand or measure the distance of any place or any area which is at the higher level from the sea level. So sea level is considered as a base, and from this base we check the distance of the lands. So we have highlands and lowlands. Highlands are at the higher distance from the sea, and lowlands are at the low distance, means they are closer to sea. Hope these two terms are clear. So in this chapter we are going to cover major landforms. Major landforms means mountains. We will talk about plateaus, plains, deserts and rivers, right? And okay, so one by one I will explain all these terms to you. First of all, let us come to mountains. Mountains are very high and gigantic. They cover 1/5 of the earth's total land area. You all love to go to mountains, no? You like hilly areas, the scenic beauty of the mountains, no? You appreciate. So mountain is a landform which rises more than 900 meters above the sea level. So 20% of land area, it is covered by mountains, right beta? So mountains, they have very steep slopes. Now in the given diagram you can see the highest point of the mountain is called peak. I have marked here peak, you can see, and these are the sides, and sides are slanting, where you can see the word written slanting. So these slanting sides of the mountain, they are called slopes. Mountain peaks, they are conical in shape. Conical means cone shape. आप आइसक्रीम खाते हो ना, सॉफ्टी कोन देखा है, उसकी टिप देखिए कोन, बिल्कुल लाइक दिस ओनली. ओके, सो माउंटेन्स का जो टॉप होता है, इट इज ऑल्सो कॉल्ड समिट. इट इज कॉनिकल इन शेप. Now one thing you should know, that height and shape of the mountains, it depend on their age. Now you will say, what is age, right? See beta, each and everything in this world, it has age factor. Okay, living or non-living. So we always know कि okay, that for example we say कि that person is 70 years old, or we use a term for the plants also. This plant is 10 years old, 20 years old. We use these terms, no? So everything has age. Okay, now as I told you कि shape of the mountain, it depends on the age. So what is the age factor? One example I am giving to you beta, देखो, when we are young, so we have glow. With passage of time, when we grow old, what happens? Wrinkles आ जाते हैं ना चेहरे के ऊपर. Okay, और lot of changes can be observed. Similarly, nature में भी change आते हैं. Mountains में what happens? When they are mountains, they are young, so they have conical peaks. But when they grow old, what happens? They don't have the conical peaks. They are low and have rounded peaks. Clear? So Himalayas and the Alps, they are the example of young mountains because they are not very old. They are very high and have conical peaks. And if I talk about Aravallis, they come in the category of old mountains. So they are very low in height and they have rounded peaks. And now the question is, how the peaks they become rounded? Because of natural factors. Weathering is a process. You know, due to storms, heavy rains, what happens? The uppermost top layer of the rocks, it keeps on breaking time to time, and then that particular area, it becomes flat or rounded off. This is a reason, a natural factor we all should know. Okay, now next thing is that, have you ever seen a mountain standing alone? No, we always see mountains in a chain. Many mountains are together. Okay, when we have a lot of mountains together in a series or a chain, then it is called a mountain range. Which is the largest chain of mountain in the world? Himalayas. Himalayas is the largest chain of mountains, largest range. Alright beta. So now next thing is that, what is the importance of mountains? Yes, mountains are very important. Okay, but they have drawbacks also. Life is not simple there, it is very hard. People who live there, they have to really work a lot for their survival, because daily essentials are not easily available there. If they need something, they will have to go down, and they have to bring transportation is the biggest problem. Roads cannot be constructed there easily, no? So despite this, mountains are very useful to us also. How? They act as a barrier against cold and hot winds. Rivers, they originate from mountains and they provide water for irrigation. Our life is totally dependent on rivers, you know, food, industry, everything. It depends on water. So, and the slopes of mountains, they have rich pasturelands and valuable forests where grow very important medicinal plants. In Ayurveda, we make medicines and all, no? So all those medicinal plants, maximum they are found on the Himalayas. Mountains are very rich in minerals also. Clear to all of you? Now, next is plateau. So what is a plateau? Plateau or tableland is a highland with a flat top. So, okay, let us understand it a better way. I taught you mountains. Mountains are very highlands, as I told you, and highlands, they also have flatlands. You can see in the given figure, I have marked their mountain, and between the mountains, I have marked with an arrow the flat areas. These flat areas between the mountains, they are also highlands. They are called plateaus because they are flat. So what are plateaus? Plateaus are raised highland but flat at the top, like a tabletop. So they are also called tabletops. Is it clear to you? These plateaus, they are fertile also. Reason is that they are between the mountains also, and the rivers, they originate from the mountains. When river they fall from the mountains, what happens? They flow through plateaus, and some plateaus, they are very large and extend over hundreds of kilometers. And best example is the Deccan Plateau in India. It is the best example. Then we have a Tibetan Plateau. It is the largest and the highest plateau in the world. it is surrounded by mountain ranges on all the sides. So we have so many examples of that. Now, plateaus, they are found in dry regions maximum and on the leeward side of the mountains. What is the meaning of leeward? The side of a mountain that is sheltered from the winds, means it gets very little rainfall. Okay, so that area is called leeward area. Due to high altitude, क्या होता है? Height. Because plateaus are at the higher level, so what happens there? The climate is cold and the growing season is very short. Many plateaus, they have deep canyons on their surface, and they have grasslands on which cattle and sheep are reared. Plateaus are also very rich in mineral deposits. Now next is plains. So what are plains? They are lowlands. They are very close to sea. Okay, they level. So a plain is a flat and low-lying land surface. They can be level but slightly hilly. The slope of the land is very gentle. So we can say a plain is a flat and low-lying land surface. They may be formed by deposition of sand and silt by the rivers. Okay, so what happens? Rivers, they carry sand and silt with them. We know when the rivers, they slow down, these materials are deposited on their banks. Plains, they are formed by all these deposits. Plains have very fertile soil which is suitable for agriculture. This is the reason we can see a thick population here. We all are living in plains. Gurgaon, we are living in Gurugram. It is the plain area. Alright, and most big cities and towns, they are located in the plains. What are the reasons for that? They are thickly populated. Thickly means lot of people, they live there. The reason is that survival is very easy. Means वहाँ पर लोगों को सारी facilities मिलती हैं easily जो उनको जीने के लिए चाहिए होती हैं. Okay, roads can be constructed, railway lines can be put, aerodromes, canals, everything is possible in the plain area. Plains are very fertile, they have fertile soil and it is suitable for agriculture. What a person needs to survive? Food, clothing, water, each and everything is possible in the plain areas. So plains are very much populated than mountains and plateaus. Here life is very easy. Okay, so next is deserts. Deserts are land areas that receive very little rainfall. These areas have a very dry climate. You all have heard of deserts. Thar Desert, Sahara Desert, no? And Sahara is the largest desert in the world. Okay, then Kalahari Desert, Great Victoria Desert in Australia, Arabian Desert in Asia, Atacama, so many deserts are there. But life in the deserts, it is very difficult. Reasons? There are very hot days and cold nights, number one. Frequent dust storms are very common. Hills of sand you can see everywhere. They are called sand dunes. What are sand dunes? The hills made up of sand. Very little vegetation due to less rainfall. क्योंकि वहाँ पर बारिश तो बहुत कम होती है. And plants, they need water for their growth. We all know this. So deserts में there is very little rainfall. So little vegetation. When there is no vegetation at all, how would people survive? Life is not possible. Right, beta? Scorpions, desert lizards, they are the common animals. Cactus and date palms are found plants. Okay, so water is not there, so life is not simple there. Now next is rivers. What are rivers? Rivers are natural channels that carry rainwater or water from melted ice and snow from mountains to plains, lakes, and ultimately they fall into the seas. These channels, they start as streams and join together to form a river. Okay, now what is the source of rivers? Do you know? Rivers originate from the mountains and they are very much important for us. Electricity, food, drinking, each and everything depends on rivers. From the place where it originates from there a river passes through 3 stages. You all need to understand those 3 stages. First stage is called the young course or the upper age. Okay? Second is the middle or the mature course. And third is the lower or the old course. So we will read about them one by one. Number 1, the upper stage or the young course. Here, the rivers, they originate in the mountains, as I told you. the speed of the river is very high. They cut a deep and narrow channel in the mountains. matlab they make their place to come out from there. Okay, they cut a deep and narrow channel, and what happens from there? They fall down from their place. So I told you, rivers, they originate from the mountains. So some features of the upper course are waterfalls and rapids. Have you heard the word rapid? What is the meaning of rapids? Part of a river where the water flows very high, very quickly over rocks. That is called rapids. Is it clear? Now number 2, the middle or the mature course. The middle. First was upper. Upper means the river's speed is very high. Now what happens? The speed, it becomes little bit slow, because now from the mountains the river has entered into the plains. The river begins when it leaves the mountains and it enters the plains. Here the valley widens. At this stage the speed of the water, it decreases, and river, it develops loops which are called meanders. River Ganga is the best example of that. Now third one is the lower or the old course. इसमें क्या होता है बेटा? The river, they join a bigger water body. हमें पता है ना, ultimately rivers, they fall into a sea. So bigger body is sea. In this course, the speed of the river is very slow. The river deposits the silt it carries near the mouth. Okay, so and it forms a triangular shaped land which is called delta. Largest delta in the world is formed by Ganga and the Brahmaputra rivers before they join the Bay of Bengal. Right, beta? That's all about the chapter. So go through the video once or twice. You should understand each and everything. Okay, chapter should be clear to you. All right, beta. Take care.